On this episode of Penny's Hot Rods and Customs, I'm going to start dialing in and making some engine mounts for this bad boy. Get a few things sorted out. Man, I can't believe how nice it is today. It's just perfect right now. It's not hot, no humidity, it's just perfect. Man, it's just nice out. It's about 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Just, man, it's just perfect. Not a cloud in the sky, no wind. Just, this is what summer's all about finally. But yeah, I think today I'm going to start making some mounts. I'm going to pull the front sheet metal off and everything else, and got my Lucky on the pump t-shirt on. I really should be putting flooring in upstairs there, but maybe I'll do that tonight or tomorrow morning. Figure out, work outside, it's beautiful. We only have so many months of this, so man, it's hard to describe. It's nice actually. Good day. It's gonna be a good day today. So anyway, I guess I'll start pulling the sheet metal apart and start sorting out this engine mounts and whatnot, and go see what I got for steel. So should be a good day. Back in a minute. Yes, Chris, I said back in a minute. Well, it's the next night. I was monkeying around. I got the engine basically sitting where it needs to be. It's about 5.5 inches back from where it originally was with this plate. So we're sitting, well, better than what I wanted. I originally wanted about 4 inches, but 5.5, so we'll have more than enough room for a rad and all that stuff. I can still access the distributor good. The headers will clear everything. So that's a bonus. I'm going to have to do a lot of modifications to the floors and whatnot, but that's going to be expected when, because like I said, the whole firewall is going to be getting made and everything else. So I'll tie that all together as one. Yeah, exactly. Everything's coming together. It's just taking a little longer than I figured. Well, it's just finding time. That's the hard part. This past weekend it was so nice on a Sunday, I think it was, and now it's just the humidity today is just killing me. But I'll go find some steel and I'll start mocking up, making mounts or whatever, and I'll see if Bug's around to give me a hand. He can use the milling machine to cut me a nice radius, so yeah, it's coming along. Okay, we just made the two tube mounts, the two tubes for the mounts for the little Henry J project here. Just parted them off just to bird them. A little bit overkill on the OD here, but they are DOM with a 1-inch OD, so you'll never rip those things apart. But it's just nice to have a lathe. It only takes a minute to do it. But yeah, so those are the two parts that go to the mounts. So I think Cory plans on trying to get some stuff mocked up here tonight. I gotta get going here shortly, but see how she goes. At least now we got a nice good cradle for it. So that's a 1/4 inch there. You want to go full, or because that way gives you enough to get a welder? Do you want, because there's your part there? Yeah. Or do you want to do a little bit more? No, I should maybe a little bit more. I'll do 5/16. Yeah. And that way, then you should be able to get it good enough to get a full weld in there. Yeah. Because that's what it'll look like right there as the mill comes through. That'll work fine. Okay, so we'll do 5/16. Yeah, and then we'll do both sides, and I'll cut it blind. What exactly is this called doing? We're just slotting with an end mill. In your fancy terminology. So there you go. So that way then your part just sits in there, and then you're gonna get a nice weld all the way around. Sits nice flat. Even Princess Auto sells one of these things, like just a cheesy one. Yeah, I know the cheesy. You put a hole saw on it. Yeah. Actually, I've been meaning to buy one of those. I guess call them pipe notchers, I guess. Yeah, well, we got a mill though. Well, it's just so much. Okay, so these are the mounts I've made. I've just tacked them up, and like I said, Ryan notched all that out for me, so I'll get a nice weld all around there. And it's just that angle's pretty good. It seems to fit well. I've already got one locked in. It's just tacked in and everything like that. I'll fully weld everything, but I'll end up making gussets from here to here and then probably something back. That way it's not gonna go anywhere. Yeah, it's gonna look like something. Hopefully. Yeah. Starting to get the stance. Like I said, I'm still pretty disappointed about the headers where they were. I originally wanted them somewhere in this area, but it is what it is. I said, like when the motor was originally sitting forward, it was pretty cool, but like I said, moving this thing back 5.5 inches, boo, quite a bit. Hopefully, what do you guys think? Will this thing ever said and done, will it do wheelies? What the heck is that? Nice. There's a straggler. But yeah, so that's where the mount originally was for the small block, and as you can see, it's about 5.5 inches according to the tape measure. So moving in the right direction. Oh, the humidity is just the shits tonight. Should go for a bike ride. I'm thinking maybe I will soon. But I'm going to finish welding up this other mount here first. It's just the shitty part is bringing the welder over here to do it, but it is what it is. And then I think tomorrow night the tranny's where it's got to go, and I'll start making the tranny mount tomorrow night or maybe Saturday morning. We'll see. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Dun, dun, dun. Hopefully my goal is when this is all said and done, the car's driving under its own power. Hopefully when we actually wind it up and snap the clutch, and if it gets traction, hopefully we'll see if we can lift the tire off the ground. That's my main goal. Shooting big here. I don't know, we'll see. I think the big thing will be traction, but we'll see. Alright, just laid some pretty decent tacks in it to hold it. So in theory I should be able to jack it up, take my block out, and it should hold. So let's try that. Shut the gas off first. Price of gas isn't cheap these days. I'm not sure what it costs to fill a bottle, but holding. Oh, maybe I might have to lower it down and take a bolt out. Angry dad's getting mad at his kids. Perfect. There, as you can see, it's sitting under its own weight, perfectly where it's got to be. Couldn't be happier. I said the transmission's basically where it's sitting, so I'll start fabricating them out tomorrow night. Probably gonna end, call it a night soon. But yeah, it's sitting there. As you can see, it even kind of lifted the car up a little bit, so looks like my welds will hold. Like I said, I've got to finish welding everything and start making gussets and everything around the back and whatnot. So that way when we start launching this thing, eventually, she'll hold, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. I do have a goal that I'm going to shoot for to get this thing, well, at least moving under its own power, but we'll see. I do have an idea if there is a World of Wheels, I guess it will be next year, 2022, which I'm thinking it will be. This will be there, even just as a roller or whatnot, but that's the goal. It's going to be there. Maybe ratty, but it will be there, hopefully anyway. We'll see. We just all got to get goals, and that way, you know, it kind of forces you to keep working on it and get shit done. So I think I'll be back in a day or so. Have a good evening. Well, this just happened. My car's back in the garage. Ryan's 55 is up and running and doing what it's supposed to do. So I was able to bring my car back in here. I'm going to start working on it. Like I said, once again, thanks to Brent from Half Fast for reprogramming his computer and all that and tinkering around with it and got it going for him. Man, sure sharp looking car. Hopefully I can get it all in there. But you can see I dug up this little relic. Nice little scoop, so I'm going to make that work. But I think tonight or in a couple minutes here, I'll pull off the front sheet metal, bring the cherry picker, yard the engine out, and cut the tranny cross member because it's welded. And that way I can set that back about 5.5 inches or whatever it is. And then I can, then the engine trannies will be mounted in, and then I can start figuring out my clutch and all that. I've got a pretty good idea what I'm going to be doing now and how it's going to work. So it's just going to be a bit of trial and error, I'm thinking. So we'll figure it out, but I do have pedals they're just in there right now. Those that's not the way it's going to be or anything like that, but I just wanted to kind of have an idea. I was just playing around with it the other night. I had a couple ideas, so I think I'll start pulling the front sheet metal apart. That'll only take a couple minutes. Yard the crappy mock-up motor and tranny out and get back at it. Man, that looks pretty damn good. Sure looks pretty neat. Okay, when I was pulling the engine out of here, I could see water dripping. I was like, where the heck is water coming from? You shake where the dipstick goes, water's coming up. So there's got to be a lot of water in this engine. So what we're going to do, this is going to make a huge mess because I want to try to do this. So we'll try to aim right there. This is going to make a mess. Let's see. So I'll try to put that there. Trying to see where the aim should go. There. Man, it's gonna be a huge effing mess about it. Let's watch. It's pretty hard to do with just two hands here. Here we go. Oh man, it's gonna make a mess. Oh yeah, overshot it. Oh. Uh-oh. Never thought this through. Probably gonna fill that thing up. Oh shit. Huh. All of a sudden it makes you want to pee. Okay, it's starting to slow down. Oh shit, that made it worse. Ruh-roh. Should have thought this out better. I guess the can's kind of catching it. Shit. That didn't do anything. Ah, there we go. Oh, that thing's getting dangerously full. The funny thing is, there hasn't been any oil yet. What I'm thinking is maybe... Oh, there comes the oil. Alright, we'll just jam that up right now. Find another rag, because that one's no good. Should have thought that one through a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go dispose of that water. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed that little segment. Alright, I was able to cut out the original, or the tranny cross member that came into this thing, and as you can see, it's got a good bow to it, and it's also, since I'm moving it back a bunch, it's too short. So I'm thinking I'll go call Boog, see if he can get me a hunk of 2x3 steel or 2x2, see if he can get me something tonight. He did have this in the garage, and I'll see if I can maybe use that. It's kind of hinting maybe towards using that and then just make a new tranny mount bracket, or I might try to salvage that one. I was thinking about using that steel, but I should probably ask. Usually it's better to, how's that saying, go ask for forgiveness than permission or something like that, but maybe I'll get a piece of rectangular steel tonight and then zap that in tomorrow. So also I was looking at found this guy. It's actually a brand new one that I had from another project, a little Vega steering box, so I'll see if that can work. So hopefully it might work. So once I put the engine back in, I'll see what kind of room I've got in this and that. So if not, I've got another backup idea. So yeah, I guess this is where I'll leave it for tonight. It's kind of wasn't really, I was hoping to get it a little further done than this because I wanted this motor back in and mounted in and welded in, but yeah, that one, it's just bent. Well, it's short too anyway, so. I looked around here and I couldn't find any steel, and he, like I said, Boog's got steel, but I just don't want to take it. So I'll ask him if he can get me a chunk tonight. So thinking I will be back at it tomorrow, if not Saturday morning. We'll see you then. All right, it's about 7 o'clock on the Saturday morning. Got my breakfast Pepsi going already, because it's way better than coffee, face it, people. And yeah, Ryan was nice enough to give me a new chunk of 2x2 steel for the trying cross member. I probably won't use it. I'll probably end up using the round tube. So I'll use this probably for the front here when I start making gussets and everything else and redoing this and making it a lot stronger. But yeah, I guess I'll start cutting this guy out in a few minutes. Yeah, looking forward to putting the engine back in and everything else. And then start fabricating a firewall and start doing clutch pedals and clutch. I kind of got to figure out what I'm going to be doing soon. I've got enough parts here now, I think. And so yeah, I'll start mocking that up and start figuring that out in the next week or so. So you might not see this car for a week or two or whatever, but it will be getting worked on, that's promising. I've got a couple other videos coming up that I think you guys might like. One we're going to be doing today, I think today and tomorrow, so look forward to that. So yeah, I won't give you a spoiler alert what that's all about, but it's been a long time coming, so finally. So yeah, I guess I'll take this guy out, start cutting it and cleaning it up, measuring this guy up and welding it, and I'll start putting a few more tacks into here and whatnot. And then yeah, we can put this booger back in. Should be a little lighter. We drained about 5-6 liters of water out of it, so yeah. So yeah, we'll be happy to, when this is done, I can start moving over to some of the fun stuff. Well, actually this is pretty fun doing. So yeah, I'll go take this outside and start cutting it. Even though I didn't say it, but here's a little spoiler alert what Ryan and Casey have been working on. Water's still there. Man, is it smoky out today. Oof. Dun dun dun. They've been working on this as a little project, so I think they got it going. I'm not sure. So, oh, carburetor here's off, so you know what that means. We did have it running, so I wonder if you got the ball bearings for the clutches for the recoil yet. But yeah, this should be on the road. It is a death trap. We'll make a bracket to hold that properly. So anyway, I think I'll grab a disc grinder and we'll get to cutting this up. So that's what I'll be using. All right, we'll cut this guy out. Okay, so I got the mount all taken off. Thanks to this guy, the lobster. I don't know why they call it a lobster, but I'll have to ask Boog. I think he told me once upon a time, but not too sure. But yeah, the mount came out, it's cleaned up, not too bad. So I'm going to start working in the garage. I'll start dialing it out and figuring it out. And then yeah, shouldn't be much longer. Weld this sucker in. Back in the garage. Man, it's actually cool out here this morning. I don't know if you can see it, but man, is it foggy out. Hey, look at that. Oh, it's not that nice out today. Cool. So yeah, one mount can go back in. Honestly, it probably would have been easier just to make a new one, but whatever. Is what it is. All right, so I finished off my transmission cross member. I got my little pad there for the mount. That's all welded in. A couple tabs for the end. Actually, these were the leftover parts from, I guess, the gentleman before me was using for small block Chevy mounts. So they even have 3 bolts. So I can bolt it to the frame, so I figured why not. It actually fits perfectly for the height of the frame, so that's I was actually pretty happy about that. So just digging stuff around, and just actually happened to walk by and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. So yeah, so I'll bolt that guy in a second, just waiting for it to cool down. And then the engine and tranny will be in its final place. Later on I'll make mounts and gussets for those. Probably won't film any of that, but I'll just get it done. And then this part, actually looking kind of forward to it. I'll just be a couple evenings of making clutch parts and whatnot, but I think I've got it all figured out. So yeah, it's starting to come together. So yeah, and I think I'll just after I'm done this, I'll just bolt everything back together, and then probably just end the video. Okay, this is what I've been working on in the evenings when I'm not working on 100J. Flooring is all in. Baseboards just cut up roughly. I gotta goop them in and get, I guess it's no more nails, that way you can glue them in and silicone everything and paint them. Yeah, looking pretty snazzy. Still gotta put these stupid pot lights in. Blah. Yeah, this is all done, so yeah, it just takes time. So yeah, looking pretty good. Big transformation in the past month and a bit. So yeah, we'll see if that cross member's all done and go bolt it in and then finish this video off. Hope I haven't bored you guys too much. I guess I still gotta get casement around the windows I gotta do. Yeah, I gotta clean these windows. Ugh, these stinking pot lights. Put pot lights in, they said. It'd be fun, they said. It's a mess in there. All right, let's go back to real work. Okay, motor's all bolted back in where it's got to be. Put the headers on just to make sure nothing's moved or anything like that. So I think this is probably where I'm going to leave the video. Like I said, it's probably going to be a couple weeks before you see this thing again, at least, because I'm going to start figuring out all the clutch stuff. Just maybe start making some of the firewall and seeing about that Vega box. So I think this is where I'm going to leave this video. Yeah, it's a big step. Well, not really, but there'll be a lot more bigger steps coming up. But anyway, there's Ryan.
Hello.
Anyway, that's where I think we're going to end this video. So remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, only good ones.
Well, the cross round's not going to fit.
No, I know, I tried just for shits and giggles.
I saw you carrying it out there, but
Yeah, it is hitting all this. And then,
you're doing a lot of cutting if you're putting a cross round.
Yeah, I know. And then I thought about that tunnel round, but then I was looking where the distributor was and where that is, and this would all have to go, and I just don't want it.
You should run the old Pete Jackson front drive.
No, the distributor clearance isn't the issue. It's just for an intake, that's all. So I'm gonna have to hurry up and order that intake one of these days to make sure. Anyway, what are you doing?
Trying to get the cable hooked up on the mini bike.
Nice.
The biggest problem with the whole thing is the throttle. Because I said if it was just me, I'd have the little suicide throttle on the side there.
Should be like, it could be
But Casey, I'm a little bit more concerned.
Yeah. Remember, chicks dig scars. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to leave this video because I'm going to go help him on that little mini bike. So I think that's what we'll be doing today. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Hope I didn't bore you guys too much on this video. We'll see you on the next one.